niece is traveling to Europe this month. Why is that? Got
Call this work session of the City Council of Scottsboro to order. Invocation given by Mr. Kimmer and pledge of allegiance led by Mr. Smith.
Almighty God, we give you thanks and praise for your great goodness toward us. We ask you to be with the mayor and council this evening as they go about the public business. Lead, guide, and direct them in all that they do. Be with the municipal employees as they go about their work and duties over the next week. Keep them safe from harm. These things we ask in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda this evening is public hearing for alcohol license application for Mr. Katisha, is that right? Patel?
Yeah.
You can keep your seat right now. Is there anyone here in support besides the applicant of this application? Anyone here in support? Anyone opposed to this application? Ms. Phillips, will you share the particulars?
The applicant is Jakisha Patel, doing business as Victory Spirits. The type of license is retail liquor for off-premise consumption. Location 3010A South Broad Street. There were no objections to the businesses or residents surveyed. The nearest church and school footage requirements are met. License application is in order. Health, fire, and building inspections are pending final inspection, and zoning verification complies.
Again, is there anyone here opposed to this application? If not, this closes the public hearing and the application of Mr. Patel doing business as Victory Spirits. Next is the public hearing in the application by Mr. Anita Baines for Scooter Sports Grill. Is Ms. Baines present? Ms. Baines, thank you. Ms. Phillips, you want to go ahead and share the particulars?
The applicant is Anita Baines, doing business as Scooter Sports Grill. Type of license is restaurant retail liquor class 1, located at 3701 East Willow Street. There were no objections to the survey of businesses. The nearest church and school footage requirements are met. License application is in order. Health, fire, and building inspections are pending final inspection, and zoning verification complies.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Is there anyone here besides the applicant in support of this application? Anyone in support? Is there anyone here opposed to this application? Anyone opposed? If not, this closes the public hearing and the application for alcohol license by Ms. Anita Banks, doing business as Scooter Sports Grill. These two cases will come up again next week for a public hearing. Next, we have Re-Energy, speaking about LED lighting conversion.
How y'all doing this evening? I think y'all had a copy of the proposal for a little while to review. Pretty self-explanatory about the cost on each one of the different buildings that we looked at as far as the cost and the savings. Just as some background, what we do on a project like this, at the onset, we go into the buildings that are being surveyed. We look at the lights that are in there, count each particular kind of light that's in there, take a power bill and see what the effective kilowatt hour rate you're paying and the hours, and from that it's just kind of simple math and computing what your energy costs just for those lights are. And then we plug in, on the other side of the spreadsheet, we plug in what we replace them with, and that computes the savings. So we've been doing this for about 3.5 years. We've put in over $5 million worth of LED lights in schools, hospitals, nursing homes, plants, cities, all over different places. And you know, we've got the The savings are verified by a third party. We have a program available that will finance the project, so it's no money up front, and the payments are spread out over a period of time that allows it to be a positive cash flow for a city or a school. That we found that to be a very effective means because a lot of, everybody works on a budget, and when you can get into a project with no upfront money and the savings are greater than the payment, then it cash flows positively. There's not a big fan of debt, but there's good debt and bad debt, and the kind of debt that pays for itself is very helpful. Nice thing about LED lighting, I don't think I mentioned in that report, was that it's instant off, instant on. So there's areas that we can put in motion sensors. A lot of times in a gymnasium or a large room, those lights go on in the morning, they don't go off as the last person leaves, and there's a lot of dead time in the meantime in there. We found that especially in schools, school gyms during the summertime. But anyway, that's kind of what we do. We come in, and the majority of the lights that are in a facility are the 4x2 lights that are in the drop ceilings. For instance, most of those have 4 bulbs in them. We're able to come in, they burn about 140 watts. We take out 4 bulbs, put in 2 of our bulbs. We bypass the ballast, so none of our equipment is dependent on anything that's existing. We use the same fixture, but we come in, we put in 2 bulbs where there were 4. Drivers are inside those bulbs, and you get more light out of those 2 bulbs than you did the 4 bulbs that were up there previously. And you drop your power consumption over 100 watts per fixture. So, if we redid all the buildings on that proposal, you'd have a payback in 1 year. The lights are warranted for 5 years, so you would have net savings above the cost. Guaranteed net savings based on the warranty life of the light would be, I think, $260,000 based on doing all 4 of those buildings. I was talking with the mayor. We can do those on a menu basis. We could do, just the police station, finish it, just City Hall, finish it, however you wanted to do it. The financing option would be available on a per building basis. You would only, so it's, I was in business, and a lot of times people would come up to me and they would have an idea and say, well, this idea is going to pay for itself, it's going to pay for itself. Well, usually that required you buying into the process, training your people, following the process, and a lot of times those things would do. This is just a matter of, hey, you change the lights and come on. The savings are guaranteed or in there.
And is this you, Steve, or you Steve?
Yeah, I'm Steve,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Moultrie, you said a third party verifies the cost savings.
Yeah, we can.
Is that our third party or your third party?
Anyone, however you want to do it, but yeah, we would be happy to turn our numbers and project over to TVA or somebody at y'all's electric department or whoever. Like I say, it's just kind of simple math once you verify the.
And did I understand you to say the existing fixtures would stay in place, but you're basically replacing the ballast of a certain amount of wiring?
Well, we bypass the ballast. We take the ballast out of play, and it's just a straight wire to the tombstones, and our bulb fits into the tombstones that are existing. So you don't have to worry about redoing tile, or if it's a surface mount, painting where the old fixture was, if the footprint's different. So it's a real clean and neat way to do it.
And you said that it was warranted for 5
years.
For 5 years.
Yes.
But of course, the fixture's not going to be warranted for 5 years.
The warranty, the bulb that goes in the fixture that has the driver as part of it, that is warranted for 5 years. If that bulb is not working for five years, then we will warranty the light for 5 years.
So that was my question.
Yeah.
So if the light, for whatever reason, isn't working for the next 5 years, you're going to do whatever it takes
Right.
to make the light operational. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
Mr. Mayor, do you have particular ones of these that you're
Well,
considering?
you know, we've been talking about, or we'll talk later about part of the Retcom renovation, and part of that renovation involves replacing the lighting in the pool area. I know Chief Dahl has got several light fixtures that are not working, and it is an expensive fix in the police department, and that's a facility that Keith and Ralph know, there's a lot of lights in there that burn 24 hours a day, so, and he's got the quickest payback, so I think, you know, if we were not doing everything, I think the rec department, because of the gymnasiums and the nature of that in the pool area and the police department would be certainly the top two priority, and it would give us a sense of, you know, how this program works. I've been in discussion with Philip Cheney multiple occasions about this. They don't do this. They don't want to get into recommending. They've reached out to TVA to see if there's some grant money, maybe to offset some costs. Hadn't heard back, but you know they're a proponent of such program.
We've got lots of references, right? I don't know if I did a reference
It's
sheet.
in there.
It is, okay. All right, good.
Speaking of references, the school system, our school system did a program a number of years ago. Was that you all?
No, it was a number of years ago, it probably wasn't LED, and that's,
I don't remember exactly.
I think they went to TH or T5 for rest of life. I talked to them.
So that's nothing to do with you guys.
we do schools, we just finished up Donnersville City Schools, we did all 4 schools plus the central office. We're halfway through doing the Alphaville schools, we've done work with Gaston City.
I sat in on some of their meetings because I felt like at the time it would be coming to the city, so I'd like to know what they were doing. And they had something that would guarantee, you say that it'll save X number of dollars. And they had a program in theirs when they did it, that if it didn't meet that, then they would make up the difference.
Right.
Well, it's my understanding it didn't meet that. And I think there was some loopholes or something, and they would make up the difference. And I guess I was saying, how do we know that what you're saying is going to be accurate as well?
I may just interject. I think the school systems involve HVAC as well, not just lighting. And this is strictly lighting. We're not monkeying with HVAC. But go ahead.
Yeah, and, you know, and because there's seasonal differences with how much you run the air conditioner or the heater based on, you know, different times of the year, this year compared to last year. So there's no way, as far as just looking strictly at the power bill, you can do it. What I can guarantee is how many watts that fixture is burning as opposed to how many watts my fixture is burning. And the difference is just math. It's simple math in there that you will get, if you burn it the same number of hours, then you're going to get the savings. And like I say, we can have TVA look at my numbers and verify that yes, you know, we're qualifying this fixture at 138 watts, that's correct. We're putting in 30 watts, that's correct. And if you burn that fixture for 3,200 hours over the course of a year, the savings are guaranteed. I mean, it's just the math.
But if they're guaranteed, what if they don't? I mean, what kind of guarantee is that?
Well, I mean, we guarantee that our numbers right, and we're a vendor for Honda manufacturing, and they were quizzing me about the warranty on our products and whatnot, and the guy that was talking to me, he said, you know, well, how do we know your warranty's good? How do we know your warranty's good? How do we know your warranty's good? I'll ask him, I said, how do I know Honda's warranty's good? You know,
we're not buying Honda, we're buying electricity.
Right, exactly. So I mean, it's, you've got to put your faith in the person that you're dealing with, and I can guarantee you mathematically that you will get the savings. But if you don't get the savings, well, I mean, there's no way to not get the savings. The only way you can not get the savings is to quit burning the lights as much or burn them more. You know, or if your power rate, I can't guarantee the power rate is not going to go up. But if the power rate does go up and you're using less of it, then you've actually accelerated your savings, even though you might be paying more a month.
But it's kind of above all of our heads to some extent, I think, about knowing about what you're talking about and how it's going to save and all about the electricity and all that stuff.
Sure.
And we have people that come here every day,
Exactly.
and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, and I understand from your side of the desk what you're looking at. You know, I'll be happy to get, you know, power bills from Gunnersville Middle School. I was looking at those the other day, and you know, their usage had dropped from 50,000 watts a month down to 35,000 watts a month, year over year. So I mean, we've got lots of data that we can give you based on projects that we've already done that the folks are realizing the savings.
I think it'd be interesting to see those things.
Oh yeah, I'd love to provide you that.
Thank you.
What would, Mr. Mayor, what would the feasibility be of taking one of these, whether it's through these gentlemen or somebody else, and I think, Rafi said that you've got a lot of stuff out.
Yeah,
Police
most of the lighting, especially on the outside of our building, is halogen. Those bulbs run us, you know, anywhere from $20 to $40 each. There's a bunch of them. So, and they use a lot of electricity too.
I think before we would bite off on multiple projects, I would think that we'd like to see how one worked out. How do you feel about that?
I'm all for it. I think it's savings.
So when we determine which one.
Well, I think that on your spreadsheet here, the police department is the quickest payback, and he's in need of replacing some bulbs or fixtures, so I think that's who we determined to first is the police department.
And tell me a little bit more about it. You say it would be paid back through the cost savings. Is there any savings if we pay that up front? Is it a different cost structure?
No, we don't factor in that at all. We just got a financial institution that works with us based on this being a municipality. They would probably set the payment rate at like 2.5%. That's what they've done for the schools that we've done.
I would want to see more information.
Sure.
No, that's
Council, yeah, okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Didn't the power board change over, was that like the street lighting or the LED?
well, Vicki may can address it. I'll put her on the spot, but I do know the power board, as they change out street lights or put new street lights up, they're doing LED versus the traditional whatever they were doing. Yeah, I do know that. Right, Vicki?
But yeah, and we would be happy at no cost if you want to get comfortable with the way the light looks, to pick out a few rooms, hallways, and go ahead and convert those, you know, at no charge or no commitment, just so you could get a feel for what they're going to look like. And we want, you know, if there's some specific needs there in the police department, that might be a good place to start, and, you know, pick us out a few lights and we'll redo those.
What's your lead time if council approved to go ahead and say, you know, converting the police department? What's the lead time before you would actually start a project?
You know, a project that size, we can kind of work into what we're doing, whether we're at a school or whatever, we can work along. And we've got some schools that are lined up that we don't want to start till the end of school. So,
Sure.
you know, I would say in a week or 10 days, we could be on that. And
How long would it take to convert them?
I would say 5 or 6 working days in the police
that's
department.
quick.
Yeah.
May I ask one more question?
Sure.
I know you're talking about taking out the ballast, you're talking about the light, using the bulb. And what other kinds of equipment is attached to this project? Say you did the police department. What else?
Well, on the outside lights, pretty much the same concept. We would bypass the ballast, take that out of play, and put in an LED bulb with a driver included in it into that particular socket, clean the lens, put it back together.
That's it. That sounds like an awful lot of money, $15,800 just for that bulb.
Well, there's labor's in there too. You know, requires a fair amount of labor to go to each one of those fixtures. Let's see, in the police department alone, there's 199 of the 4x2 4-bulb fixtures.
We didn't have it right here. It's gonna say how many fixtures are in the police department. Right.
Yeah, and that's just 4x2s, and that doesn't take into account the outside lights or the other different kinds of fixtures, but that is the line.
Those are just the, like you say, the 4x2 interior fixtures,
Right.
right?
Yep. And,
When you did I'm sorry, but on the police department, did that include the parking lot lights that are out there?
Parking lot lights are powerful.
Okay.
some were, if I'm reading this right, some were and some weren't.
Okay.
And
I know at the rec department, some of those parking lot lights were part of the conversion.
Right, we counted outside lights and wall packs. Well, there was, I think 6 or 7 wall packs and 7 400-watt pole lights that we identified as being part of the police departments in the cities. It might be wrong with that, but usually, historically, when we look at an outside light, if it's got a number on it, that means it belongs to the municipality or the power board.
Right.
Yeah, and so we can usually tell the difference on those.
So, Mr. Smith, if I just do some simple math, if we just look at the call 199, 200, you're talking about less than $100 a fixture, and from what I'm understanding, that light will never have to be, hopefully, never have to be touched again for 5 years. And if it does have to be touched again within 5 years, there's no cost associated with that. So when you break it down, it doesn't, it's not. Any other questions, discussion? What I would recommend, Steve, is get with the mayor and maybe Chief Dahl. And I think it would be very interesting to see the difference. If we could put one in, maybe one outside, one interior. I'd like for the interior to kind of be close to another one, so we can see the difference in the light and see what we're doing.
Absolutely, that's the best way to do it. We always like to do that. In most of the settings like this, we put the 5,000 color in, which is the brightest, whitest color. Some settings, folks might prefer to go with like a 4100 color that's a little bit softer, but I would think in police department you would want that bright white light. That's what we put in the nursing homes and the hospitals and the schools. And we'd be more
The savings, if I understand you correctly, and I know that's what they preach to the schools, is that when no one's in there, then they wouldn't use the lights. And listen, I haven't figured out yet how those lights are gonna cut themselves off, where the savings, a lot of the savings
well,
is.
nowhere in any of my calculations do I account for occupancy sensors. If you put an occupancy, you're going to save the money based on using your lights the same amount next year as you did last year. All right, if you want to put savings on top of savings, we can put motion sensors in the rooms to where when nobody's moving in that room, after 5 minutes, the lights go off.
So your system doesn't have anything to do with it.
I've not added that into it, no, because you can't put a quantitative savings. I can give you a quantitative savings on the hours that you use. I can't give you a quantitative savings based on the motion sensor because I don't know I just know that it's gonna save money on top of money, because if nobody's in the room, it's gonna turn itself off. LED lights being instant on, instant off, lend themselves to that. Especially in the gym where you've got the metal halides that have to warm up, and that's that takes a while.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it, we really appreciate the opportunity to take a look at this with y'all, and would love to get some samples up, just let us know.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Andy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor.
Next, we have discussed approval of contract for Redcom pool area HVAC replacement.